Is this girl Spider Girl on the bus? Or was this book a bust? Absolute Batman redefines the Batverse, but is it still holding strong after 60 days? And 90 days ago, 4 kids walked into a bank and broke into the market. $30.69, and this is where we take a look at 3 books, the books that was the hottest books 30 days ago, 60 days ago, and 90 days ago. We're not going to go day by day. However, we are going to take a look at what was the number 1 book of that week from a 30-day period, from a 60-day period, from a 90-day period. If you look at this list, if you look at what you see on the screen right now, we talked about some of these books already. I spoke about some of these books last week. There is a new book on this list, and we're going to start off with that new book. Spider-Boy 11 came out in 2024 from Marvel Comics. On the November 11, 2020, week 2, this was the number 1 book. So this is a 30-day book. The top weekly sales of this book was $60 at a 9.8. Weekly units that were sold during that week was 43 units, which gave it a growth of 397%. The most common raw goes for $26 near mint at that time, and the most common slab was $64 at a 9.8. Before we even go into cover price to take a look at this book, what are your thoughts on this book?
So I somehow missed this at my LCS, this cover, but I ended up getting a variant cover, which is not anywhere near as valuable. People clearly want this cover.
Mm-hmm.
And Spider-Boy, I don't know. I think we can quickly tell most likely what's going to happen based on the value of Spider-Boy's first appearance books.
Yeah.
And transferring them to this Spider-Girl appearance.
Mm-hmm. And Spider-Boy's first appearance, which came out about 2 years, I think it's 2 years now, it feels like. It definitely has dropped. It's around a $10, $15 book, but the momentum of Spider-Boy is gone. I have to say, no one's talking about Spider-Boy. He's still, we have a book. It doesn't have huge sales. However, I think the target audience are more skewed to a younger audience for this book, which is fine. I like books that are skewed for younger audience, so I'm perfectly fine with that.
My 12-year-old, when I bring the books back, that's what he's asking for. Is there another Spider-Boy book?
Let's take a look at how this book has changed in this 30-day period. So let's go into cover price, which I'm going to do right now. And here we are. So Spider-Boy number 11, this is a Paco Medina cover. It came out in September of 2024. First appearance of the character who will become the new Spider-Girl. So this is a cameo appearance. And we could see here that the last recorded sales was at $19 at the near mint. This was done December 9th. So the most common raw is $15, where our slabs are going for $106. Would you believe that already? Right? It's probably because there's not as many books slab just yet, and we'll talk about that.
So, yeah.
So there are some known variants. We see 7 variants, but as you mentioned before, it's not this. The variants are not what people care about. They care about this cover with this girl on the cover here. It's this girl right here. So that's what people care about. Let's take a look at the sales data of this book. Right? So as I mentioned,
I don't even think anybody has confirmed that that's actually the girl that's Spider-Girl.
I don't even know, because I'm not reading Spider-Boy, so I don't even know. As you can see here from the Voss comic sales, it's going for about $15. On November 11th, 9.8 sold for $106. If we look at the sales data, we could see from this list what's been selling. So obviously near mint plus are the highest sales volume, and we have a total recorded sales of 222 books. That's a lot of books.
Yeah.
Right. You could take a look that in November you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6 books sold in November from the near mint, and there's a lot more actually when it comes to 9.0, 9.4. You can see there's a huge amount of books that have been selling. So the book has been maintaining its momentum, but if you look at the price tag, $18.99, $8.50, $18.95, $14.99, $25, $24, $60, $11.99. The sales data is just going up and down for this book. Meanwhile, if you look at the slabs, we only have 7 slabs recorded as sales. And the highest volume was 119, which was on the 15th of November. I have to say that this book is not going to remain hot.
No, I agree.
And again, it's Spider Girl. It's not the first Spider Girl.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Let's take a look at our next book. It was the hottest book 60 days ago, and it's no surprise it's Absolute Batman #1. In October 14th, the book was selling for $30 at near mint. Weekly units 131 sold with a growth of 252%. The most common Raws was going for $17. And at that time, there were no slabs for the book. Now, Absolute Batman, we just saw it on the list. It was number 2 on our list. So it's still hot. That's all I got to say,
Yeah.
right?
My local store ordered a lot. They were kind of smart in their future planning for this book and ordered a ton of it. And they still sell the like every week I go in and ask how are sales doing, and he tells me they'll still sell multiple copies a week, and he has it at I think $30 Canadian now.
Mhm. Oh, wow. So they're still selling. They're still going out the door.
Yeah, they're still picked up. And there's
Mhm,
people, they have all new people for their pull list just
mhm.
based on the the absolute Batman plus the other books now.
I see. All right, let's take a look at how this book is trending. $114 was the last sale of a 9.8 that happened December 9th. Most common raw is $40. You said $30 Canadian, so they're getting the deal up there. However, slabs are now being sold. We have a slab of $119. That's largely because there's many slabs for this book. 48 variants. Would you believe that? Whew.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
Mhm. But look at the total recorded sales of this book. It's 1,318 recorded sales. That's not including what's being sold in the shops.
Yeah,
That's like your eBay sales, your stuff like that.
it's
So
amazing.
it is. From that, you have 1,271 and 47 slabs already have been sold. Let's take a look at the sales data, starting with the raws. Near mint are selling near, not going to get anything below very fine, but let me show you what a 9.6 to 10 looks like. And that's 88 titles that have been selling. This is grand total 1,133 near mints,
Yeah,
50 very fines, 87 slabs that's being sold already. So that's pretty high. 87 slabs for a new book.
I have
And
two copies, and I've moved it up my list of things to send to CGC just so
mm,
I have them
yeah.
done. And then if I want to unload one, I can.
Mm-hmm. 44 9/8 have sold, and they've been selling at 114, 129, 109. There's a $99. So around about $100, give or take. That's what they're selling for, the 9/8. We have two 9/6 being sold, like $54 for 9. That's a pretty good deal for a 9/6,
Yeah.
and $41 for 9/4. We're gonna see this book return for a little bit, for 30, 60, 90. Obviously, when we get it's gonna be the 60. I'm so curious to see what this book looks like in a 90-day period.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Mhm,
Me by then there'll be another couple issues because it was the first one out.
mhm.
So that will allow a lot of time for the other issues and other books. So
Our next book here was a book that, again, this is the second time it was #1. So last week I talked a lot about Four Kids Walk into a Bank. The book came out from Black Mass Studios. We have here in September 9th, it was the #1 book. It had a top weekly sales of $100, 9.8. The units sold was 25, a growth of 116%. The most raw common was $19 near mint, and the slabs were going for $103 at a 9.8. So, what are your thoughts on Four Kids Walk into a Bank?
this is another book that is just slipped by me. I did not know about it until I started to see it show up on
Mhm,
one of your lists,
mhm,
and I'd never heard of it before. But I totally get it. It's no one of those independent kind of hit or miss books where
mhm.
if you got it, you're happy because you loved it, and
Yeah.
now people are telling you it's worth something. So everybody else is trying to play catch up.
Yeah. And there's already a couple of printings for this book that exist. We're going to take a look at cover A for this book. The recorded sales value of this book is $15. $19 is the most common sale. So it pretty much stood stagnant However, a 9.8 most common slab is $88. So it's actually dipped. The book has dipped a bit since its recorded highs of $100. It's still a hot commodity. This is a book that has been, the story has been optioned for with Liam Neeson attached to it. It's kind of like a comedy action thing
Yeah.
about these kids. It's about a girl and her father, and she's trying to get him out of a heist. So the kids are getting involved in the heist. Sounds like a nice little ragtag thing. If it happens, I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah. I love
Mhm,
him in movies, so I'd watch
mhm.
it.
Look, there's a total of 404 sales that have happened. From the Raws, 329 were Raws, and 75 of them were slabs. The highest known value of this book was back in 2020 for September 3rd at $200. So this book is now half the price it was back in 2020 at its height. Let's be honest, 2020
Yeah.
was an outlier when it comes to sales. So every book, we do have a fair market value of $19. So take a look at that raw sales. And the last time a raw book sold was in September. We had some near mints happen in November. Look at, someone got it first. It's kind of hard to see it on the screen, but it's $14.99. They got it back in November 29th. That was the last sold. A 9.4 sold for $11.29. This is at a raw value. The book has not seen much sales as of late. A 9.8 last sold October 1st at $90. 9.6 sold in November 2nd at $50 and 9.6. And someone got this book for $1.25 at a 9.2. That has got to be a super deal.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That was back in 2022. Wow, that's crazy. Like most indie titles that have been optioned, only time will tell if this book will have its investment. Again, high risk, high reward
Yeah.
for this book.
It's books like this that make people go out and buy every independent book just hoping.
Yeah, just like, oh, we got to get this one. We got to get this one. We got to get this one. And that's for kids walk into a bank. I'm looking forward to this book. I'm looking forward to seeing this come alive. You know what I mean?
Watching your video now, I want to go try to find it. So that's
Mhm.
on my list to try to find now.
I'm trying to get a digital copy to read. I haven't really found one, even on like programs like, Global Comics and Comixology. I haven't seemed to find it because it is Black Mask. But I'm pretty sure we're going to start seeing them trickle in somewhere.
Yeah.
Mhm. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more comic content. Check out these other videos for even more insight, and I'll see you at the next one. Excelsior.